I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
What's going on? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Uh, y'all had created treason. Okay, if you on this, if you follow Tariq Nasheed and Jason Black, I want you to know history will not judge you kindly. Now I know I'm going to get hate off of this. I'm gonna get hate off of this, but it's time to start calling it for what it is. Y'all are treasonous. Y'all have committed treason. And the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Section 2, by the way, Section 2 has been eradicated, which means because you Negroes are on this, let's not vote, don't vote. I want my reparations before I vote. Cut me a check, then I'll vote. A lot of y'all who I like to call DNs, a bunch of Delta Novembers. And like the thumbnail said, who do you work for? Who do you really work for? And that's need to be asked from now on. Who do you work for? Um, Phil Scott. Who do you work for? Boyce Watkins. Who do you work for? Tone Talks. Umar Johnson. Tariq Nasheed. Who do y'all work for? And no, this ain't no uh kissing the ass of the Democratic Party or 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 being like a Roland Martin with his elitist. But Roland Martin does have a point, though. Roland does have a point, and I'm going to have to put this up here because listen, the copyright. Yes, it's the copyright. So I want so out of respect of all the content creators who I might play later on in this live stream, and this is going to be a short live stream, by the way. You know, because I don't want my blood pressure to go up, so I'm going to do this as short as possible, right? But let me go back to my live stream with Ruben Garcia, who's running from the same congressional district where y'all destroyed, or I should say the same state, the same state where the lawsuit came about that started the destruction of the Voting Rights Act. But let's let Ruben Garcia, Esquire, explain it herself.
CALLAIS versus Louisiana is one I
Right.
think you're thinking about.
Right.
But that is
That's the one.
yeah. So I just graduated, and that's why I moved out here. I graduated from the Southern University just last May, and that's an integral part of Louisiana and really across the country, and particularly District 5, are suffering from voter suppression, not just voter apathy and not having the quality candidates, but voter suppression. And this is just
and let's talk about that. So it's voter suppression. So if black votes don't matter to a lot of y'all who are like people like Information Man and some of you Negroes like Tyreek Nasheed, if black votes does not matter, why are they trying to suppress votes? Why did they suppress the vote in Dallas County where Jasmine Crockett is from? How come they tried to suppress the black vote in Florida? But yet y'all come on here every day telling everybody else you're waving the FBA flag and saying you ADOS, and then y'all don't take part in the stories and what's going on in the community. And let me say this, a shout out to Taz exclusive. Shout out to Taz, because Taz made a live stream and the tagline said, y'all got more smoke for the tethers, but y'all got no smoke for sundown towns. And sundown towns still exist. There are towns around here. I can go to the town right now, which is not that far from where I'm at, where it's a sundown town. Okay? It's a sundown town. I can go up in there, but I better leave there at night. Sure, I can work there, but I can't live there. There's sundown towns in this country, and y'all got no smoke, and yet though y'all want to rep FBA and we're American descendant of slavery, all that, and then y'all got no smoke, yet though y'all want to attack not only the tethers, quote unquote, these Africans who are arrogant to us African Americans, to black Americans, to these Caribbeans who put all that, and then, but yet you also attack biracials and those who are mixed as well, especially from those from the ADOS crowd. But then y'all got no smoke for white folks right there in front of you, especially you racist white folks in these sundown towns. That's all over the South and Midwest. You got no smoke. But anyway, I forgot where I was at, but anyway, let me keep moving right here.
Another tactic. So the original case was Robinson versus Ardoin, and I mentioned law school because when I was in law school, I took classes with Ernest Johnson and Judge Janice Clark and voting rights litigation. So I'm very much well abreast of the Robinson versus Ardoin. And then once the Supreme Court ruled that it was in violation and we created that second majority minority seat with Cleo Fields, that is how we got this current.
Let's talk about Cleo Fields. Cleo Fields is a congressman. He almost, and I said this back in the 90s, this happened back in the 90s, he almost became the first black governor since Reconstruction. No, better yet, the first black elected governor of Louisiana. Just putting that out there for y'all to know. Just putting that out there. And now, though, they're trying to get rid of his congressional seat because he is too black for Louisiana. Anyway, well, I wouldn't say he's too black, but you know what I'm saying.
District where they redrew the lines and they extended, for instance, my district is now so big because it used to just be up in the northeast corridor from like East West Carroll down to Concordia, Catahoula, etc. But now it goes all the way down and then east over to Washington Parish. My opinion is that Jeff Landry and this Louisiana legislature, this is why they pushed the election back. They were hoping, I listened to the oral arguments before the Supreme Court last fall. And it seemed like the judges were a bit skeptical. It's one of the last legs of the Voting Rights Act that they are trying to attack. So I am for the creation of the equal representation and making sure that the voting is not diluted for black voting power. Considering that this state is 1/3 black and we have 6 districts, then it makes sense that we have 1/3 of the districts at least offer an opportunity for a majority minority to district and allows for a minority to get elected there. The Calais versus Louisiana was after they redrew these lines. I believe the word that they use in the lawsuit, they don't say it's white voters. They say it's non-African voters in the lawsuit. And that is what is before the Supreme Court right now. And I believe they pushed the elections back in hopes that after they heard oral arguments that the Supreme Court would issue an opinion at the beginning of the year, which would give them time to gerrymander or redraw the districts right before the election. But
so let's talk about it, right? But first, before I show you the court ruling, let's go to what Roland Martin had to say.
Everything we told you happened. We told y'all what the implications were going to be.
Wait. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thirsty, y'all. Y'all got to forgive me. Who? She's cute. She's cute with that hair right there. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all got to forgive me, man. She is cute. Yeah. Anyway, keep moving.
Went in 2024. We told y'all about Project 2025. We sounded the alarm. We told y'all about the courts.
Now again, I ain't no fan of Roland because he's too he's on that elitist, and some people might accuse me of being elitist, but he's on that elitist college Greek you know, and it rubs people the wrong way. And also that old school baby boomer talk that does rub people the wrong way as well, especially us younger black men. It does rub us the wrong way as well. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
We told y'all about what they wanted to slash. And all these folk, and you got some Negroes out here. Oh, Trump ate too. I saw some fool talk about, oh yeah, I told y'all Trump did some good things, and there was a black woman who got sick back in the day, and he went and paid her medical bills. So you think that negates him being a racist? That was Trump trying to get some media attention. See, we try to tell y'all. And see, what I need people to understand is that what the Republicans are doing right now, listen to me clearly. I need all y'all to listen to me clearly what I'm trying to tell y'all. What the Republicans are doing.
Morning to you, Brownie. Morning to you.
If we dismantle the districts, we dismantle the policies, we dismantle the infrastructure.
Right. And you Negroes who are, and shout out to Man of Tomorrow, right? And I have to agree with Man Tomorrow. Do you know that most of the people who keep talking about reparations and we need to vote, we need our reparations before we vote? How come y'all don't live in the areas that are doing the most harm? Field the Advice show's in Houston. Information Man is in California. Y'all got more smoke for the quote unquote Democrats, but then who run have at least 30 out of the 50 states? Who run the states? There's 31, 32 states that have Republican governors. Oh, must be a car wreck or something. I hear ambulance. But anyway, where was I at? Hope it ain't nothing bad. Anyway, I'm sorry. I see ambulance across. Yeah, but anyway, where was I at? But where was y'all? And Field Advice show, you in Texas. Who runs the White House? Who runs the Senate? Who runs the House of Representatives? Field Advice show. Phil, Jason Black. Who runs the Supreme Court? But yet you over here talking about Al Sharpton, and the like, and y'all supposed to be calling yourself the new black media. No, explain that. Anyway, let's keep it moving though.
Even if they win the White House in 2028, it's going to take 20, 30 years to reconfigure it. Let me say that again. I need everybody listening to what I'm saying. Republicans are looking at the 3 Reconstruction Amendments, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendments that were passed by the radical Republicans who opposed slavery during that period that led to Reconstruction, the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments. What then happened? You had the Great Compromise, you had the election of 1876. You had the Great Compromise of 1877. You then, of course, had the Supreme Court making various rulings. And then you had, of course, the Plessy versus Ferguson ruling in 1896. That Great Compromise of 1877, listen to me clearly.
Okay, what he's trying to tell you, and I'm a rush it for y'all. President Hayes took away the Union troops out of the South. There have been black politicians that ran South Carolina, Georgia, and Louisiana across the South. And many of these black politicians ran out of office soon as Hayes removed troops from the South, and Jim Crow came back in. This is what Roland Martin is trying to convey, but yet he's taking a long ass time to tell y'all. But anyway, let's go over here real quick, because then you know I know I just got off from work. And we going to sit here and I'm gonna tell you the ruling of the Supreme Court. Now this is was passed. This was, I know it says term October term 2025. They just did the ruling this week. It was decided right here. You read it right here. They decided on April the 29th, which was yesterday. The case was argued on October 15th, 2025, decided on April 29th, 2026. So the Robinson case and said it violated the Voting Rights Act, the Section 2 of Voting Rights Act 1965, because it did not include additional majority black district, but when the state drew another map, SB that contains such district, the new map was challenged as racial gendermanering. So Reed Judge Court held the SB 8 violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, and the state appealed to the court. So yeah, they use the same law against you because it's gang. And the argument is, well, it should be partisan rather than racial. But wait a minute, I thought, then by that logic, right, it's really an erroneous argument, because black people historically has been denied the opportunity to represent him or herself. There was a reason why, though, there was a Voting Rights Act. Hold on. I see. I hear. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Oh, okay. Okay. Got my stuff ready, about to pick up. Anyway, where was I at? So I'm not going to read this whole entire Supreme Court ruling, but I really want to go down to Clarence Thomas. And I mentioned Clarence Thomas on my interview with Ruba Garcia, who is a candidate for office who's running for a House seat. And let me try to find I'm trying to find his writings, what his opinion, I should say. Let me try to find it. Oh yeah, here is what they're trying to do, and here's the I can't blow it up right now, because I'm trying to find you know what, can I? Yeah, let me blow it up for y'all. So yeah, so I'm trying to find the opinion of the court here, and where is Clarence Thomas's reply? No, you know what? Let me back this up, because I need to see. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I should have this queued up first. I think this is what is it. I think this is his opinion right here. And I'm trying to find his opinion. I wish I had this queued up because like he didn't say much or write type much, I should say. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is right here. Justice Thomas, with whom Justice Gorch is joins in concurring. I join the court's opinion in full. This court should never have interpreted the uh, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 65 to effectively give racial groups an entitlement to roughly an appropriation representation. Gortich, I should say, that's his name. Gomberg versus Giggles, 478 U.S. 39, 1986. O'Connor, Justice Connor, according to judgment. See, anyway, let's skip all of that. By doing so, the court led legislatures and courts to systematically divide the country into electoral districts among racial lines. Blacks were drawn into black districts and given black representatives. Hispanics were drawn into Hispanics districts and given Hispanic representatives, and so on. That interpretation rendered Section 2 repugnant to any nation that thrives on the idea of a colorblind constitution. Wait a minute. Let me stop right there. So what about the congressional districts on the southern border? What about the congressional district that come out of El Paso or the southern part of California, or the San Diego area? Aren't there Hispanic owned? And how come those quote unquote Hispanic owned run congressional districts has not been bothered, but yet though they vote for Republican? Explain that part. You see, the hypocrisy's right here, though. But anyway, let's keep it moving, though, right? Today's decision should largely put an end to this disastrous misadventure in voting rights jurisprudence. As I explained more than 30 years ago, I could go further and hold that Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act does not regulate redistricting at all. The relevant text prohibits states from imposing or implying a voting qualification, prerequisite to voting, or a standard practice or procedure in a manner that results in a denial or infringement of the right to vote based on race. How states drawn district lines does not fall within any of these three categories. The words in Section 2 instead reach only enactments that regulate citizens' access to the ballot or the process for counting a ballot, does not include a state's choice of one districting scheme over another. Wait a minute. Then by that logic, you should restart the Democratic primary in Texas when y'all removed the votes from Jasmine Crockett 2 months ago. Yes, you should have a redone of the Democratic primary in Texas, so because y'all got rid of Jasmine Crockett's voters off the voting rolls. Y'all stopped the vote at 7 o'clock when there still was people in line to vote. If according to this logic right here, according to this logic. But anyway, let's keep it moving though, right? And I forgot my place. Instead, reach only enactments that regulate citizens' access to a ballot, a process of counting a ballot. They do not include the state's choice of redistricting scheme over another. Therefore, no Section 2 challenge redistricting should ever succeed. See, yeah. Yeah, so this is Clarence Thomas excuse making. And I'm gonna say it right now, he backed himself in the corner with his dissentation of the ruling. Because by saying what he just said, he just in my opinion, he gave Jasmine Crockett a way to challenge the Texas Supreme Court and the Texas voting laws that got rid of her her congressional seat, as well as her run for her loss in the Senate seat during the Democratic primary. Like, you can't have it both ways. I'm just saying, you can't have it both ways. So let me get out of here. How do you know where to? Because they said it, Shiesty Bomb. They said it. So anyway, so all you people who talk about voting didn't matter, we're going to vote down ballot. Yvette Carnell, all of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, because y'all created this situation. And if Kamala was president, even though I'm no Kamala Harris fan, we wouldn't be having all this. We wouldn't have no war in Iran. We wouldn't be having these tariffs. We wouldn't be going after taking down kidnapping the presidents of Latin America. We wouldn't be doing all this. And a lot of this is just illegal. But y'all more worried about greens and bathtubs and is she a black? Is she's black or she's Indian? All these stupid ass arguments that y'all make. But anyway, I think it's time for y'all to go. Yeah, I said it. I think people just need to start ignoring y'all. So anyway, let me get out of here, and I'll see y'all next time. Had to keep this one short. I'm out.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.